Alright. Let's do some of this for a little bit. I'm going to go into an actual mission. Not sure which one to pick though. I'll do this one, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do pop out. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Let me once again attempt to get the loadouts set up. Since it's just so much hoopla up in this shit. But yeah, I'm going to be getting a video up talking about Code Vein 2 since Leo told me about it. I just need to like fine tune the edges before it's ready to go. Let me replace this for now. Fuck. What the fuck? I can't pick him? Alright, whatever. Let me just quit the level. I'll go to like some other level, I guess. Can't even pick my characters in peace. What the fuck? Alright, I'll pick vehicle level, flying level, droid level, some other level. As a boss battle. Fuck, let's go with this one. I just wanted to get my loadout or whatever whenever I play this again. I also wanted to make sure I got all the rumors bought, so when I inevitably start going through all of the collectibles and shit, I don't have to like keep buying everything. Alright. Yeah, the game didn't even save my settings. What the fuck? Whatever. There we go. Got the big ass blaster and everything. Okay, Darth Vader. And then finally, C-3PO. Alright. I think that should be everybody. Unless it's like something specific that I missed. Okay. There we go. Not the best loadout, I guess, but better than nothing, I guess. Not too sure why that's listed like that. I guess it's just to let me know that I'm making progress, I guess. For whatever reason. I don't really care about those, to be honest. It's not exactly within my interest. Got the 3 health upgrades. Guess that's good. Now I can like attempt to like buy every damn rumor that I can possibly get. Hopefully. Actually, I'll get the level challenges because those are technically more Okay. Sorry about that. There was stuff going on and I didn't want it to be heard. For now. But anyway, I'm such gonna try to buy all these damn rumors as like a shit ton of them. 765. I don't think I might even buy all of them, to be honest. It might be kind of low-key overkill, but I'm pretty sure it did all of these. So damn many. But yeah, I'll probably move on to something else. This is probably boring as fuck. Yeah, I'll leave it. I'll do this on my own. This is boring as fuck. Well, there's, let's see, 765. Not exactly the most pleasant thing to watch. I just want to try and burn some time. So I'll probably do some Pal World for a little bit. I want to play in the Xbox, and for whatever reason, the console gets so hot that the prompt comes up for overheating, and that's not good. So just give me a second and I'll switch over. Well, if you like Ark Survival Evolved, then sure. If not, then, well, I don't really think it's going to change your mind. Just going to be honest. Because a lot of people misconstrue it as a Pokemon clone, and it really isn't. It's definitely more of an Ark Raiders Evolved clone. And no, it has nothing to do with Ark Raiders. It's Ark Survival Evolved. There's a completely different, lingo to it. It's the naming is just a coincidence. Well, a lot has changed, and oh yeah, I also gotta lower the volume too. Also got a lot of trophies too. Hang on, let me lower the audio. Put it to 10. Hopefully it should be fine. Yes, trophy earned. Okay. Let's see. I wanted to play this on the Xbox, but like I said, it's I get the thing that comes up that says, "Oh, your system is it's overheating, so we can't play it." That's, like I said, definitely not good. Okay, well, since the level cap is increased, I'm going to actually go ahead and try to get some easy XPs, I guess, somehow. And I thankfully know where to go for that. Maybe, but it's the only game that does that. I have tried playing Ark Raiders here and there, and it does make a lot of noise, but it hasn't, like, caused the game to crash. Like, Pal World is, like, the first game I can think of that actually can be a legitimate concern for playing. It's also much louder, too, compared to the other games, but you are definitely right in the nose of that. You're totally not wrong at all, but I just still find it kind of surprising that something like that can even happen. Okay, so I'm gonna go north. Here we go. I have tried spraying it, but I still got that thing, so I'll probably just have to, like, play it in bursts or enable the autosave interval to, like, 1 minute. Yeah. There's a lot of settings you can change in this game. Like, I know you can change the autosave interval from, like, 1 minute up to 30 minutes. There's also a pretty big game-breaking bug. I don't know if it's been fixed or not, but apparently if the game autosaves, there is a chance where it can, like, soft lock your game. I'm not sure how it happens, but it's pretty bad that something like that can happen. But I'm not really sure if it's been fixed or not, so you can only take my word with a grain of salt. Yes, it does. But I say Power World is decent if you want, like, a decent time sinking kind of game. There is a building element to it, but it's definitely more Ark Survival Evolved than Pokemon. There are elements from Pokemon that do carry over, like the PALs. Obviously, there's a lot of designs from them that kind of seem like, wow, this is Pokemon plagiarism. I'm going to be heading over to an area that you can definitely tell, yeah, it's just Lucario, but Egyptian themed. And all that fun stuff. But with the way that the crafting and gameplay is, it's definitely more Ark Survival Evolved, but on a much more easier scale, since you can essentially have your pals do the work for you. But there's also the custom difficulty size, essentially lets you make it harder or easier for yourself. I don't think there's a mobile port, unfortunately, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's, at least you have to deal with annoying people unless you want to. There's also some pals that just straight up come with guns. I know one of them is this panda-looking dude that has grenade launchers, and you can do like moon jumps of it. It's pretty great. I don't know if I have it on me right now, but I can check. Yeah, I haven't played this in a while, but it's I believe I played this when I played the Xbox version first. I wanted to try and, like, get the most out of it. Okay, let me see if I have anything of use. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, like, go back to base, so let me respawn. Or go back to one of the bases, I guess. Surprisingly, this game is still in early access, which I do find to be kind of annoying, actually, because the game is... I don't know. I mean, it's not like Ultra Kill, where it's basically finished, but it's still under the guise of early access, but... I don't know if there's, like, an actual ending to the game yet. There's no Ender Dragon, I guess, so to speak. But there is some familiarity. That's definitely there. Oh yeah, and there also is a hardcore mode if you want to use that, though it's you'll definitely have to play very carefully if that happens. Oh, here we go. Here's the panda dude. There's also an electric version, but I don't know if it's any better than the base one, which is green. There we go. Oh yeah, I have the ring that... Yes, ring. There are rings in this game. Or some exception. It makes it so that you can't necessarily kill pals, I guess. Or something. Oh, never mind. I think it's just that one creature, I believe. The Ender Dargan. Nice. But yeah, the whole gist of this game, I guess if you want to call it that, is that you kind of start off... I believe if you play in single player, you start off in this area, and you just essentially find resources, build things. It's gonna sound kind of weird, but it has a building element that's like in Fortnite, and I say that because, like, you can literally build structures from, like, on foot and stuff. But it's also, there's also survival management like Minecraft, except there's no creative mode, so you actually do have to, like, you actually have to play carefully and stuff, as I'm doing horribly. There's no pause button, by the way. Like, there's absolutely no pausing whatsoever. Even in the single player, I guess, if you want to call it that. I guess one of the updates also added these random bursts of air, which just seems kind of weird to me. They're supposed to, like, let you reach higher places instead of climbing on things like what Breath of the Wild introduced. So I do find it to be kind of weird. But anyway, but yeah, the inventory system is kind of like that. Arc Raiders, surprisingly, though I'm pretty sure this came out first. It's essentially items you can find, and you have to craft things. It's I'd say it's a decent time investment. Call of Duty Ghosts 2.0, not really. I wouldn't compare it to that. Because you can technically quit whenever and the game will save for you. So even if you can't pause the game, you can just quit right where you are and you can just come back. So I wouldn't go that far. Although I can see it being an annoyance. Like, okay, you can just pause the game, quit, and you'll be right back where you were. So I would say it's kind of annoying, but you're not going to, like, lose any progress. In fact, you can actually kind of save scum in a way, where if you have the autosave interval turned up really high, because it can have it set up to autosave after every half hour. If you're trying to get something and the results aren't in your favor, you can just dashboard out and try again. You can kind of cheat death like that if you're really wanting to. There is also an online multiplayer component, though I'm pretty sure you have to join someone's lobby and your progress is shared with theirs, I guess. So you can't just, like, have your level 1000 character join someone else's game. It's pretty weird, but I guess it keeps things fair. There's also only one Palba Ghost Island, I guess. You can technically rename it, but it doesn't really do anything, unfortunately. It just kind of is there. No, it's weird. Well, I'm just trying to get a feel for the game again, because I know that an update essentially added not only increase in level cap, but they also added things like the Ultra Kill collab items. Yay. I guess to be fair, there is, like, Terraria stuff, but I don't know, it just seems kind of surreal having Ultra Kill in the lineup. Yeah, the freaking panda, like, T poses when it jumps. You can, like, do spins in midair. I don't know how the actual PvP is, because you can actually enable that, so I can't comment on it, but for, like, a single-player game where you can, like, find stuff where we just explore the islands, capture the pals, which I'm not doing because I'm trying not to, like, ruin my resources and stuff. I do find it to be a pretty decent game to play. Yes, it's also on PC, so you can probably mess around with a lot more settings than what you can on the console. And I think it's fairly priced too, if I remember correctly. Let me check really quick. But yeah, so far I'm running this on PS5, and the PS5 is kind of quiet, which is kind of weird. On Xbox, it's loud as hell. It might have something to do with the Xbox being very dusty, though, but I'll see. Let's see. This game is I guess I can see when it's actually released. Yeah, released on Yeah, this game is 2 years old, basically, and it's still in early access. And it is $30, so I say it's a relatively fair price, I guess. You don't even really have to make an account or anything, which is nice. You probably have to accept some terms of service stuff. You can just, like, start playing the moment you install the game. So, that's definitely a plus. And yes, this giant panda is like 2 grenade launchers, and you can moon jump. And T-pose while jumping in the air. It's great. Definitely my favorite for both luxury and just getting around. That's crazy. Just make the game not early access at that point. That's even worse than Ultra Kill, honestly. I forget how long DayZ was on early access, but that was... even that at least got released. Okay. I think I got all of these things taken down. There's essentially a bunch of anti-air turrets that can like target your pals if you're like flying and stuff. Oh, this thing has a pretty long cooldown too, so you can't really do much. I guess I'll fly, I guess, with the Jetragon, I think that's how you say it. It's essentially a dragon that is as fast as a jet. Which I don't know, but it's fast. But it's also a legendary pal, I guess, as they say. So don't expect to get it right away. I remember some update essentially adding in oil rigs and stuff, and yes, there's even a boss that's like a helicopter, which is pretty weird. And no, you can't capture it, but it is something that's in the game. I imagine the PvP might be pretty interesting, though. Like, there actually is surprisingly a decent number of weapons, I guess. Not based on, like, real ones or anything, but you do have a good chunk of them that you can craft and stuff. So you have to play the game quite a bit if you want to get to the good stuff. So you got hatchets, pickaxes, bows and arrows, spears, crossbows. There's also fishing nets, crossbows, I think I already said that. Let's see. A boost gun? Okay, I guess it's like a buff weapon, it's not like a real weapon. You got SMGs, handguns, assault rifles, shotguns, revolvers, single shot rifles, SMGs, double barreled, and no, there's no akimbo, unfortunately. I know, it's a bummer. Semi-auto rifle, pump action shotgun, assault rifle, semi-automatic, rocket launchers, flamethrowers, Gatling guns, missile launchers, grenade launchers, laser rifles, and of course the laser Gatling gun, the plasma cannon, which is essentially the single shot plasma weapon. It was like the best weapon, I believe, at the time. Now there's like even more. Energy shotguns, freaking an overheat rifle, which I guess is like the plasma rifle from Halo, and an even better one, the charge rifle, which does even more damage than the plasma cannon. That's insane. So yeah, there actually is a surprisingly number of weapons that you can make, provided you play the game long enough, of course. And since it's one of those games, there's also rarity and stuff, though. I think it just improves the weapon's performance, but there's not like a particular type of weapon or anything, if that makes sense. Frostbitten Isle, I have no idea what this is. I think this was added with one of the updates. Oh. Interesting. Oh, it's a fast travel point. Okay. I'll activate that. There we go. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so it means I don't even think I defeated. I guess I could, but I definitely do want to explore a little bit more. Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, 3 years ago. That's pretty insane, to be honest. Oh yeah, speaking of other games, I take it that you're enjoying Arc Raiders. Oh, the Seiko Realm Terraria. Nice. This will be on my to-do list on the very bottom of it. I'm guessing there's also one with Ultra Kill. I know King Benji gifted me the game. I do like it, I just really wish it wasn't online only. And Power World is definitely not an online only game, so you can kind of see why I prefer playing this on principle. Like, there is like a looting aspect to it, I guess, but it's more crafting and survival. But if I can play the game offline and I enjoy it, I think I'd rather play that than the PvP VE hybrid. Yeah, I understand. There's also some games that you're better off playing by yourself, to be honest. I won't question that. Some games are just better off playing by yourself, but the more the merrier, as a fat man would once say. But sometimes there's just some games that, you know, playing by yourself will be a more better use of your time. Unless you have good teammates, and usually playing with randoms is almost always guaranteed a disaster. But I guess for the sake of longevity and features, I guess it's cool that you can actually fill up with squad mates and stuff like that. Though if you don't have a good team, it's not going to really make a difference anyway. But I guess the PvPVE hybrid, I almost said hibernation, like it's hibernation. I guess that's cool, but it's like, there's this one review on Steam I read that actually makes a lot of sense, where the free loadout system kind of breaks the flow of the game, because it's like, you really have nothing to lose in the free loadout system, so it's like, you essentially gotta hoard everything, and it's like, the fact you can essentially get a lot of free gear without even really trying just kind of shows how busted that system is. I also know it's essentially taking elements from Escape from Tarkov, but in third person, so I can see why it's popular, but I really wish there was a single player component to it, like actual single player without any online whatsoever. Dealing with the arcs is one thing, but it's just like, I don't know, it's a shame too, because I do like the gameplay loop. I can see it being something I can enjoy. There's not really much like it out there right now, but it's like, it's another one of those online-only experiences, and even though it is completely part of the game, and I can totally understand, the PvP may or may not ruin your experience. Some say enhance it, but sometimes you just don't want to deal with that. But understandably and realistically, it is part of the game, so It's you're gonna get third party. You're gonna have people who think they're friendly but they're not. It's I don't know. I guess $40 for that isn't too terrible, but Power World is $30 and it's single player, so I think it's a better value, honestly. And plus, it has Pokemon-like characters, so I guess that wins. But that's probably me being a little biased, I guess. Oh, there's actually a trash shuttle icon I didn't even activate. Wow, I'm stupid. So that's not really technically no game over in this, by the way, unless you have like hardcore mode enabled. So even if you die, unless you like lose items on death, you're not going to really lose anything besides time and maybe, might have to travel back to where you died. So, but you can also customize the game to your liking. I obviously made it a lot easier myself because obviously it's a game that you want to play to relax, kill some time. So I don't really see a problem with that. Ah, jeez. Oh yeah, you also have gliding too. You can also unlock the ability to double jump, triple jump, or even dash in the air. So I also imagine with those you can actually have some pretty insane PvP antics. There's plenty of areas to do battle as well. Like this map is freaking huge. And this is just like, I think this was like the basic stuff, and you have like this little island was added later, this major island which is added with an update. I'm guessing this one was added as a update because I didn't see it. This definitely wasn't there. This definitely wasn't there when I last played. So there's definitely plenty of areas you can technically have your makeshift PvP battlegrounds. There's also like a guild system too, though it's kind of weird to set up. I don't think it's like anything like, like the usual MMO stuff, but it's certainly an option, so I like that. Oh yeah, one thing though, as far as the story goes, technically this tree is supposed to have like some major significance, but I don't think you can go to this tree. The towers will hold the answer you seek. It's one of those games. It's very, very friggin' vague, but I have a feeling that this tree might come into play, like, whenever this game gets finished, so I highly doubt it. There was another game this studio actually made, but I don't think they finished that one either. I think they even referenced it, too, in some area. So that's nice. But yeah, I gotta go back to that area and activate the thing there, because I'm like, I definitely should have activated that little fast shuttle beacon, and I did not for some reason. Good job. But yeah, I can definitely recommend this if you feel like spending $30. Oh yeah, there's also crossplay too, actually. I forgot to mention it. There is actual crossplay. So that's definitely a plus. There is actual crossplay. So if you want to play it on PC and someone only has it on the consoles or whatever, you definitely have yourself covered. The only problem, though, is that it's not released on PS4 and Xbox One, technically making it a true next-gen experience. I think it's on Switch, but I could be wrong. I don't think it is on there, but I'm going to check. I think it's just on the major gaming platforms right now. I thought it was on Switch. I probably... Okay, yeah, it's just on... Okay, it was essentially on Steam and Windows Yeah, Steam and Windows. Steam and Xbox, then it got a PlayStation 5 port. So, yeah, it's not on Switch, unfortunately. Maybe it'll be on the Switch too, but who knows. I'm definitely not interested in one right now. Especially with Nintendo's bollocks system of anti-piracy and crap. I'm not going to really get into that. It's kind of not worth it right now. But yeah, you can't get to this tree right now. It's like the one thing that's like part of the game's lore, I guess, if people even care about that still for whatever reason. Defeat. Let's see. But yeah, you can only respawn at this area, or if you're playing in multiplayer, there's actually others you can respawn. For some reason, you can only spawn at this, or if you're playing solo, which I find kind of weird, to be honest. It's really weird, but it's whatever. Let's see. Yeah, I gotta go back and activate this, so let me do that, I guess. But yeah, absolutely no issues playing this on PlayStation, but on Xbox, that's a big oof right there. I'll probably switch over to GTA and PS4 actually, because I kind of want to do Kaio preps for a little bit. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to activate this freaking tower. Or whatever, fast travel point. It's kind of silly. Ah, jeez. There we go. Okay. Yes, Deadpool. Wrong button, except I just forgot to activate it for some reason. Oh, there's also another one I also forgot to activate, but I can just travel here and get that really quick. Won't take nearly as long. Yeah. I think Deadpool also says it when he loses in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It might be a coincidental thing, though, but I guess in the context, regardless, it could be seen as funny. Oh. Makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, they added oil rigs in an update. I think there's also one here. That's the one with the helicopter, I think. Not easy, as some people would say. But okay, let me go ahead and actually switch over to GTA for a bit. This is, I definitely gotta get used to playing this again, but it's, oh. There we go. I'll see if I can defeat Anubis again. I know there's like the pals that gave like a lot of XP. But I also have to like build a bed so I can like advance time to make it better. I don't know if it like spawned yet, but I can check. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this thing actually has like missiles mounted on it. Forgot to mention that. There we go. Okay, there's a good stopping point for now. Okay, let's go and switch over to GT Online for just a little bit. I'll probably do some retro arch after. I was going to charge my PS5 controller. The battery life on these are actually pretty bad. The rumors are unfortunately true. Okay, enough bickering. I'm actually going to be busy tomorrow, unfortunately. That's why this session is going to be a little shorter, I guess. I actually have not played Modern Warfare 3 in a while, so I would be really terrible at it. I think the last time I played a Call of Duty game was when I talked about lol cows. And even that didn't feel it was my best. Well, of course. But thankfully, Kaio preps and the mission itself doesn't take too long. So I'll probably do that, I guess. This is the PS4 version, by the way. And yes, I have the mansions, and yes, they're actually worth getting. No promises, but I'll see what I can do, I guess. I just gotta live life first. I also gotta make sure I have a proper controller to play it as well. Because obviously it's the best method to use for gaming, you know. Especially with first-person shooter gaming. I'll have to see what I can use, I guess. But I'll figure it out eventually. Let me just focus on this for now. I'm also in an invite-only session. There's absolutely no, zero chance of me being jumped, griefed, or third-party, to whatever you want to call it. If this was Red Dead Online, though, you'll probably find someone who legit has incendiary shotguns and just bursts me to death. And yes, it is actually a thing. There actually is fire shotties in Red Dead Online. It's crazy. They plagued World War II, but did you know they were plagued even worse in the West? It's kind of ridiculous. And there's no invite-only option in that game, unfortunately, which is why I kind of stopped playing it. You're just minding your own business in the West, and all of a sudden, just someone just, tips their hat, "Hello, ma'am, sir," and then they just shoot you. They just burn your face with a fire shotty. It's even worse when you're trying to like actually make money in the game. It's pretty bad. I did get a fair amount of progress in it, but the griefing just kind of annoyed me a little bit. And no, I have no interest in GTA 6. I would legit rather play Saints Row 2022 or even the other better ones than to ever think about GTA 6. Yeah, exactly. Except it's in a Wild Western game, and it's ridiculous. There's hardly any actual counters to griefers, though. At least in GTA, you can play in lobbies by yourself or with others. So unless you have an imposter among us, you won't really necessarily be griefed. And it's just miserable. Honestly, if Rockstar had a much better track record, especially with not only the people who are working on there, but also other side projects, I would kind of agree. Even Red Dead Redemption 2 as... Even Red Dead Redemption 2, I believe that was like their last major game, at least still had Dan Houser and the other Houser brother, I think, if I remember correctly. And there is a lot of care and effort into Red Dead Redemption 2. It's just that the online really shows how greedy Rockstar can be with their microtransactions and a really horrible economy. If it wasn't for the single player having the worst hour-long expedition done before you can actually begin doing the free roam, I'd say Red Dead Redemption 2 would be a pretty decent sandbox game, I guess, even if it is hyper-realistic at times. There is a lot of quality to it, but it's just like, for a Rockstar game that's all about the sandbox, it takes the longest time to actually get to the sandbox. Like, you're essentially restricted to a bunch of missions if we can even do, like, actual, like, sandbox stuff. At least in GTA 5, you only have, like, the prologue mission in North Yankton, and then the one mission with Franklin. And you can just kind of do whatever. Though, of course, you are encouraged to do the actual missions so you get access to the other stuff. GTA 4 finishes one mission. GTA, the other mission, other games like one or two you have to do, but they don't take long compared to Red Dead Redemption 2. I have no idea what MWE4 is. I'm actually going to look that up. Oh, speaking of abbreviations, they're actually making a brand new Forza Horizon. Hooray. Oh, Modern Warfare 4, okay. It was an actual typo, but... Oh no, especially with that too, it's like, clearly people who are not working on Call of Duty are not there anymore, or whatever. Like, it isn't that the people who made Modern Warfare 2 and 3, the originals, are really good, but I don't want to be one of those people, but... If you know, you know. Oh, okay, yeah, Forza Horizon 6. So hopefully the quality of the game remains consistent, like with 5, or even 4, or 3, or 2, or even the first. It's like maybe the one Xbox game that might be of interest is a Forza game. That's kind of sad. Everything else, I just can't really say I care too much about it. Oh yeah, that is true. Forza Horizon 5 is actually part of that, so you technically can. I wouldn't say it's a bad racing game, but there's just so many other much more interesting ones, to be honest. I don't want to sound like a hater or anything. Like, a lot of people don't even like playing driving games because they don't like driving in real life, and I wish they were kidding. Okay. Let me park it here. Oh yeah, Premium Game Pass. That sounds like fun. I guarantee you there's probably still people playing on Shipments only because you can actually play it whenever you want. Which is fine. It's like a recess, I guess, for Call of Duty. But even so, I have not played it in quite a while, so if I were to like jump into it right now, I'll be like really bad at it. It is kind of a bummer that you technically can't use the premium weapons in the offline mode, I guess, or even the Call of Duty 4 throwback perks. Yeah, the body armor in this game is completely worthless, to be honest. Like, it drains so quickly, it's not even funny. It's not even like a second health bar like in every other game. But thankfully, unlike in the single-player missions or whatever, dying doesn't mean you necessarily fail. So, as long as you don't like run out of time. So, take that for what you will. And that's also with auto-aim, by the way. And yes, one of the weapons I essentially use now is essentially this game's version of the Desert Eagle. You can tell, too, because of the design and stuff. I think in this game it's called a pistol .50, I think, or .50, I don't know. I think it might be in the single player, too. I could be wrong, but it definitely hits the hardest out of the pistol class. Though I have the others for backup, mainly for drive-by, since obviously this has like 12 bullets, extended mag, and the suppressor. Let's see, I got the heavy revolver in case things get annoying, and there is actually a guaranteed flame ignition like most of the other weapons, so that's why it's there, but you only get 6 shots, but it's more than enough to kill anything that moves, I'm not even kidding. The AP pistol, I mainly use it for drive-bys, same thing with the... okay, just the AP pistol, that's the other one I have. Open atomizer, obviously for memes, but also for getting your vehicles unstuck. The flare gun for one mission with the nightclub cell and the other weapon I forget. Oh, that mission was dumb. Thankfully, it's the... well, this one's going to be even dumber, actually. And it's all the way there. I guess I can drive. Alright, here we go. Okay, here we go. Bit of a drive, but nothing too complex. Unfortunately, the main meta for making money in GTA now, even with all the nerfs, is still Kyle Perico because it takes the least amount of time. And for one, you can actually do it solo, which... That's like the main thing that really killed Heist, is that you have to do it with... not necessarily random, but you have to do it with a team, and it's just like... If you're playing with randoms, it's just going to go down really bad. And even with like every other subsequent heist, they made it a lot more simpler. Because people don't know how to do role or objective for the original heists. Like, the casino one is decent, it's just, you can't do it solo. Like, other than that, it's really easy. It's really not that hard, it's just, you cannot do it solo. I think there's even mods on the PC version that lets you do all that solo. But speaking of mods and PC, if you don't feel like actually playing the online component, I believe there's a trainer out there called Simple Trainer, I believe, and you can actually spawn in the online cars in a single player. So you technically can drive around in the Oppressor Mark II without needing to play just GTA Online for it. So if you have the hard drive space and you just want to use something like that, it's very much doable. A nice, clean user interface. You can spawn pretty much any car that you want, even the ones that are from the online. You can just essentially use them that way. And also with 5M, you can have even more limitless combinations of possibilities. Especially with that super hypercar, whatever you got, you can technically spawn it in the single player and just drive around in that, I guess. This game doesn't have crossplay, by the way, which is just ridiculous. I guess to be fair, this was before crossplay was like the norm, I guess, but still. So many updates and not even one of them had crossplay. Oh, I hit the wrong button, whoops. It's like, why is my submarine not firing the torpedoes? And I realize, oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. Whoops. But yeah, kind of a cheeky little shot, I guess if you want to call it. You can technically engage the sub in autopilot to make it so that once you get the part that you need from this big submarine, you can just swim back up to it and leave before you even appear on the radar. I would call it a cheese shot because it's not something that like is not intended. It's just like it's not something that's like immediately obvious, I guess, if that makes sense. Oh, because I kind of parked it in a funny way. I can't even like enter it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to like actually go back and repark it because I definitely parked it in the most awful spot right now. Yeah, I actually parked it in like the one spot I shouldn't have. So I'm gonna have to like go back and like fix my parking. Failure. Alright, drive. Yeah, you can't block the yellow Corona because you have to push right, I believe, on the D-pad if you want to use it. So I'll just rise up just a little bit. There we go, this should be good. But yeah, Rockstar's track record, even with the definitive edition releases, the really obnoxious microtransactions, the blatant urge for people to use the shark cards to get stuff, like, they're not exactly the nicest people on the market, especially with Take-Two at times being kind of worse than Activision in some aspects. Like, Activision will at least send cease and desists, which can be really annoying for legal purposes, but Take-Two sends, like, their own legit Yakuza or whatever. Their own personal hitman, if you so much as mod their games. Very shitty, but for completely different and somehow similar reasons. Okay, it's not in here, so it's probably in the lower level. So I'll leave these dudes alone. Oh yeah, I guess I picked up the pistol, so I technically only use like 5 weapons out of the pistol class. The ammo is also obviously the cheapest, and headshots really do take down most enemies anyway, so it makes sense. Maybe rarely I'll use a grenade in one mission, because it does clear a room a lot quicker compared to just gunning it. And of course, okay, I was gonna say it's right there. Yeah, I know, but I don't think I've seen like actual reports of Activision sending like mafia lawyers or whatever because somebody modded their game or whatever. And Take-Two has actually done that. Like, if you look up, was it Red Dead Redemption coffee mod, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. They didn't send just a cease and desist. They sent like a Yakuza man or Mafia man after the person who made the family of the dude who made the mod or whatever. And it wasn't even like... They essentially used assets from the base game and nothing external, and yet they still got a hitman sent after him because of nonsense. So it's... I don't recall Activision going that far, even though they have like cease and desist that Modern Warfare 2 remastered multiplayer mod, which is kind of a shame to be honest. I think people would pay like legit money just to go to play that game online again. It was already suspect that campaign remaster didn't even come with multiplayer. And that's like the one thing that would have justified the $20 purchase, but you know. Like, it's not exactly my cup of tea, but it's people have found ways to play it, like with Plutonium, and I think people will just go to that. The only problem is that it's not exactly so accessible, I guess. Maybe not like... Not exactly entry level, I guess. Maybe it's slightly above the complex stuff, but it's still not exactly entry level, if that makes sense. Okay, this is the easy one, so I'll be okay. Yeah, that's the thing. It's terrible. I think it's like the one thing that like people are looking forward to it, and then it's like, oh, you can't play it now. Of course. Well, I won't argue with that. At least Modern Warfare Remastered has bots in split screen, though. Unlike in the original Call of Duty 4, it only has up to 2. But you do at least get custom classes, so you don't have to worry about someone picking that one class with the M60 and Juggernaut, so that's nice. I don't know if that mod incorporated those things. I think it's just purely for online play. I don't know. I guess that's why plutonium is a thing. So people can actually enjoy the better games with having most, if not all, the assets from the games that are actually good. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you have to wait for the prompt to pick up before you can even use the, before you can equip it, which is kind of weird. It's like you're looking right at it, but because the prompt is so up, you can't do nothing. Here it is. Got on my second try. It's not bad. Okay. Yeah, getting the cutting torch from this area with the Kosaka Kaio Perico heist is really easy. There's one that's kind of annoying, and there's one that's like the worst because there's just no way to like stealth it proper. And the layout is really annoying and weird. The rest of the missions are pretty short, though. They say that the boarding the sub and getting the weapons, depending which one you get, can be annoying. There's only one other one that's kind of annoying, but it's only mainly the first phase. After that, it's just a piece of cake. There we go. Let's see. All right, cutting torch. All right. Alright, 2 more to go. Plasma cutter's easy, I guess. But yeah, I guess while I drafted this, I might as well explain what I mean by the meta of Kaio Perico, besides the fact you can solo it. So, when this heist was originally a thing, I guarantee there are people who have done this one heist because, first of all, you can do it solo, so that alone makes it more worth it than literally any other heist out there, since you have to play in teams. And with the original set, you can only do up to 4 people, but with Doomsday Heist and Casino, they lowered it to 2 people. Well, you can still have a squad of up to 4 if you want. But with Kaio, they made it so that you could get a lot of money from the heist. You know, it's essentially a sneaking mission, I guess. So there is no fail state unless you lose all your lives. So stealth is recommended, but you're not failed if you break it. Yeah, and for some reason I couldn't actually fly out of there, so that's why I went back. But anyway, I might as well explain this. Essentially, Kyle was like the moneymaker because even if you were to play it solo, the variables were much more consistent than the ones from the other heists. The only thing that really mattered was getting the paintings in the room with the golden gun if you're going solo, and then it's up. And then depending on where the gold is, if you have a squad of 2, 3, or 4 people, and of course there's the whole cut system that someone can have one I don't know how to explain it, but like one person can take 50%, and if you have a group of 3 people, it's someone, maybe the host gets like an extra 5% or whoever, and then if you're playing 4, everyone gets a 25% cut. With Kaio, you can take all the money. You get a 100% cut of the heist. Though there are still some fees depending on other things, like if Pavel's cut, some other characters cut, I forget, but you're still going to make a lot of money from it. But the problem is that people have done this so much that Rockstar nerfed it twice. I forget what order of the nerfs are, but they reduced, or they greatly increased the cooldown to trigger the heist, because usually it's 48 minutes, and they changed it to like, I forget the exact amount, but there's a in real life cooldown of 2 hours and 24 minutes if you finish the heist solo. You have to wait until that point before you can attempt the heist again. If you complete the heist with a group, it still has a normal cooldown. Okay, fine, whatever. Then they reduced the pay that you get, and they also nerfed the entry fee in that you have to pay $100,000 to even begin the heist, because people have done this mission so much to the point that nobody wants to do anything else, simply because Caio Perico, and even with all the nerfs now, is still the most consistent moneymaker, because nobody wants to deal with the bullshit that's been in GTA Online for the longest time. You only have to like do what? The infiltrating Caio Perico, and then the 5 missions I'm doing, and then the final thing. It's really consistent, but it can be very repetitive, but it is streamlined to ridiculous proportions, if that makes sense. And even people complaining, oh, well, people doing nothing but playing Caio, because it's the one thing that's like easy to make money in a game where most options are very annoying and you have to invest a lot of time in just to even get the biggest payouts. And most of them you can't even do it by yourself. And the ones that you can are annoying. As I died. Oh well. At least the helicopter didn't crash, so not that big of a deal. Alright, let's forgot to show actually. This outfit, no, sorry, this one. This one is not just for show. You can actually activate thermal with it, so you get much worse quality, but you can actually see enemies from it. You can actually use this in like PvP matches. If you do so, you'll get like a ton of hate mail for it, so don't do it. And not only gives you obviously better vision, but also gives you protected damage. It's kind of like you kind of take like slightly reduced damage from the head, I guess. It's like the most taboo shit ever. You can also use it with the flying bike too. It's like one of the few, I think it might be the only vehicle in the game that actually lets you have thermal and oppressors on. Because every other vehicle that you, wow, every other vehicle that you ride, it's it takes off your helmet, but not with the oppressor Mark II, and I think most bikes in general. I say against a PvE, it's fine, but don't use it in PvP or you'll get like a ton of hate mail, legit. You don't want a unfair advantage and getting extra damage reductions. I'm surprised Rockstar hasn't restricted the ability, honestly. Because it can be legitimately game-breaking. Oh shit. I dropped the weapon by accident. Yeah, I can also drop weapons too by accident. I don't know why you would want to, but I really wish you could in GTA 5, the standalone story, because there's a lot of weapons that are just kind of useless, and you have to carry all of them. Which, also, in the PC version, with the simple trainer I mentioned, you can actually remove the weapons that are useless. So you can essentially use the better weapons. Which, if I remember from the top of my head correctly, the combat machine gun, the assault shotgun, which is essentially the striker shotgun, and if you have the drum magazine, you have 32 shots. Any explosive weapon is fine. Any thrown explosive is fine. And the heavy sniper, I believe. Everything else is kind of redundant. It's kind of depressing, to be honest. Maybe the AP pistol for drive-bys, the micro Uzi for drive-bys as well, and maybe the machine pistol for that as well. If it's even in single player, I really don't remember. Okay, last mission, then coyote, and I'm going to bed. I have an appointment in the morning. I don't want to oversleep, or I don't want to sleep so little that I'll have fatigue even after sleeping. It's not right. But thankfully this mission is also pretty simple. The only problem is this phase with the warehouse. But I finally got a strategy that's really easy to complete this mission. That's easy, as long as you don't screw it up. Which I probably will, to be honest, because I'm clearly a terrible player. Okay, here we go. Now, what you're normally supposed to do is to shoot at the, not shoot, that's in the next phase, sorry. You're supposed to disable the cameras from the side, because if you go in, if you don't disable the security camera first in this section, you'll be spotted. But you can technically just go in there, throw one grenade, wait a couple seconds, and you can just like loot the goods. What the fuck? Why did I drop the jerry can? I didn't want to do that. Whatever, I'll have to buy another one. Probably after the heist, I guess. Alright, whatever, not important. But yeah, you just go in, you throw a grenade at the dude to your left, you take cover on the right, and just enjoy the fireworks show. And one of them is still alive somehow. Usually doesn't happen, but whatever. Here we go. And then after this hacking minigame, the rest is easy pickings. Because you just gotta go to the second warehouse, blow up the cameras there. Gotta watch out for the second explosion. I think it's either from the bike or some other one, or that one, I don't know. I had that happen to me, I was really pissed off. It's like, I finally mastered the one strategy, and it's like, oh. If there was another explosion, and it blew me up, and I was kind of annoyed, not gonna lie. Let's see, Archivist is actually right at the docks, so that's good. Anyway, let me actually do this really quick. If I even can. See, I think I already did that one. This one I clearly did not. There we go. But yeah, if it's right near the docks, it's really easy because you can just call the sub. If it's like really far away or whatever, you can just like get in and get out. Use the force, Luke. You can just use the force to pick up the fingerprint cloner, which is this thing, I think. No, it's not. Oh yeah, it's this thing. It has like a ridiculously huge pickup radius. It's kind of funny. Like, I don't know why its pickup range is so huge, but it's funny. Alright, time to do the best mission, obviously. Yeah, after this I'm gonna get off, so I'll see what we can do with that, but I don't want to make any promises because I don't want to be that kind of person, but I'll see what I can do. Let me just get through this and tomorrow. And I'll work something out. Let me just prepare this first. But yeah, tequila pays the lowest out of all of them. It's also the most common, so that's nice. Aggressor is really good because you get the machine pistol and assault shotgun, which is really the only things you need. Maybe grenades if you want to use a suicide option, and the machete for whatever reason. Every other weapon is just terrible. Obviously you want suppressors because it's, you know, you're going to be sneaking around, so, you know, it makes all the sense to use them. Nice loading. But yeah, this path is really short and sweet. It's just a matter of actually doing it. There is a chance it also rains, by the way, which is definitely not good. Okay, it's daytime. Yeah, there's like a chance of rain for a reason. I don't know what exactly caused it, but it's actually very annoying when it does because it just... I think it's supposed to help limit visibility on the enemies, but it also severely hampers yours unless you're like really good at playing in the rain. Or singing, as a matter of fact. But it's still annoying regardless, so... It's just not fun. Okay, SpongeBob, I'm not gonna cut the green wires. Right, Tommy Vercetti? The green one. Okay, Tommy Vercetti, you got it. And then it's time for the fireworks show and everyone dies at the end. Push.
Excellent. Did I ever tell you about the sewers in my hometown? It was there I first decided to join the Navy. Perhaps it will have the same effect on you. We will see. Off you go. Well, judging from the lack of terrified screams, I will assume you made it through the uncharted tunnel and into the den of strung-out militiamen. Good. Things are going according to plan, huh? Now, let's see what he has for us in the vault this time. If you are considering using the cliff as an escape route, I have done some calculations and you would have a better chance of survival running directly at the bullets. You're in the area where Mr. Rubio's personal bodyguards operate. These men will know every soldier under their command. No disguise will fool them.
Sí, anda por aquí. Lo vi hace un rato.
Okay, so the reason why I waited after killing the first group is because if you kill them too early, the Juggernaut will be alerted and your run will basically be over. I thought it was because of the pellets, but no, it's just because he can actually be alerted, even with suppressors. I guess his death cry just makes them all alerted. And I actually had to kill an enemy down there. Fuck. It's not good. Yeah, it's like the one blunder I made, because usually the key like drops to another enemy, but that one usually has it, so that's why I did that. Okay, so wondering, if you kill him too early, you'll trigger the Juggernaut, and you don't want to mess with the Juggernaut, obviously. And no, you can't use his minigun. Trust me, I tried.
It would be rude not to check the safe, I think. Do not give up on a locked door. Why not ask a guard nicely for the key? He has a fingerprint scan here too? Alright, we follow the usual plan. Cycle through the partial prints to match the target print, and the tool will do the rest. You're through. It cannot be far. Okay, time to focus, yes? This display case is bulletproof and bomb-proof. The only way in is the plasma cutter. Once sub, unless you want to. In which case, I will bring the caviar. From what I can tell, they have sealed the drainage pipe. You will need another way out. Well done. The compound is done. The only thing left to do is escape. Carry on like this and they will never know you were there. I had to relocate the sub while you were inside. Pinging you the new location now.